Yo, what is up, everybody? And welcome back, Chalkcast 116. I'd say we have a special guest, but we kind of have just our new fourth, I guess you could say. But before we jump into this absolute superstar, the carry of Chalkcast, we do have to promote our LAN really quick. We are running a LAN next week with JohnnyBoi. Chalkcast and James have teamed up for a 1v1 LAN. We have 8 players live at Shopify Rebellion, Shopify HQ in Toronto. We cannot wait for it. But if you guys want to help us out as well, we are, well, I'd say we're funding this off our own backs, but with support from Shopify Rebellion and some of the beautiful people from the community as well. But if you guys want to support, you guys can check out jamesbot.net/shop. We've got some cool things over there. We've got some merch, signed posters, tees, and community sponsorships that we're trying to sell to make sure we can run this LAN and we're not broke and that we can do this again in future. So !LAN in chat if you guys want to check that out. !AP might work as well. And for those watching on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description with all the information. But without further ado, boys, Chalkcast 116 live ep. We're 2.5 weeks since the last one where we did our preview show for Raleigh. And what a major it was. We didn't have JB our third, but we had the next best thing, or maybe the better thing, is what we're trying to work out. Maybe the better thing, Johnny, because Gibbs, what a performance from you, mate. Unreal.
I feel like, so after the LAN, everyone's like, oh, I'm getting sick and all that stuff. I just came home, my back was just absolutely killing me. It was just absolutely destroyed. I'm like, I got to carry Captain America over here and some OC guy. I was like, oh, man. But no, I really appreciate the invite. Obviously, that's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing to play on a LAN like that. And I clipped on teammates, so that's all that matters, and it was great.
A lot of people are asking me, could I escort that redirect? Because obviously Gibbs replaced me for the match, and I mean the answer is obviously no. I mean I could definitely. I don't know many people who could score that redirect, but also,
I think only Gibbs.
With T-baits and net, the net might as well be open, and I can't score open nets. So I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, of course I can't score that. No, I'm not redirecting it into an open net. So yeah, that's a Gibbs thing, not a JohnnyBoi thing.
It was
fair.
I don't even know how, like, I had pros coming up to me at the event saying, how did Gibbs do that? Like not even joking. Like, how the way that I don't know. I feel like this whole thing was scripted, and it looks scripted.
That's the problem. Is everyone always says I script everything, so now I have to perform my script too. So I had to make sure that I got it done, and
it was scripted. No, I loved it. I mean, I knew you guys were gonna win. Like I wasn't remotely nervous.
There was no question.
I wasn't nervous at all. I know Garrett was a little bit nervous because he had something to lose here, a lot to lose. You might even call it a lose situation.
No,
he's either losing to First Touch or bullying on the internet. So
yeah, a couple things. One, CJ's blind confidence honestly made me more worried. No, it made you were just like you would play for 5 minutes. You'd be like, "Yep, I'm good." It was the surplus of confidence that honestly made me worried. And then on top of that, I was not a part of this selection process. It was nothing against Gibbs.
Wow.
It was my distrust in T-Baits. I was told this was T-Baits' idea. And look what happened when the vote thing. T-Baits had already plotted this graphic for everyone to post. So I was like, this guy is just setting up a campaign. So it was T-Baits.
T-Baits knew I was on vacation the week prior. So I had like 3 hours in 3 weeks. It was all on one day. I had to grind between the two.
That's more than Rizzo,
vacation and LAN.
That's a upgrade on Rizzo.
Oh, man. Double. So that was rough. But the one thing that helped us was we agreed with First Touch that we were not going to practice all week. Because one, we couldn't practice because then it would leak that it was me, right? So we couldn't practice. So First Touch couldn't also practice. We were also busy, obviously, doing a show. But they didn't know maybe that GarrettG was practicing all week because he was doing 1v1s with the crowd.
60 hertz. 60 hertz.
Yeah, that's true.
I could barely hit the ball anyway during the match.
When you say you couldn't practice, was this like a no practicing as a team or no playing Rocket League?
No practicing at all.
Do you really think? I don't believe that First Touch would honor that agreement. I'm positive if you like check the darkest corner of the arena at some point during the weekend, you'd find teammates in there grinding.
I thought it was a joke. Yeah. I was
concerned. He was.
I did not think Gibbs was actually inside T-Bait's brain. Like I thought T-Bait's picked Gibbs because he thought it'd be a home run for first touch, you know. And I haven't watched Gibbs play since I was 14, so it was just complete unknown.
That's fair.
You
Wait,
know,
so
it
were you-
wasn't.
Yeah, apologies.
you
I
muted this whole
accidentally.
time?
No. I just.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, setting up the video, so I accidentally muted myself. I feel
It
like
was
they
great.
would have
I
said
did-
something during the intro, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs, it was better that you didn't play the game at all. You didn't even set up on stage. You hadn't touched the game.
Yeah.
So
was
there was
probably
also
better.
a meet and greet with fans Saturday night when we would normally do our PC setups. So I couldn't even do that part either. So I was just like, whatever. And then I was like, my settings were a little wrong. So James was like, I'm going to change a couple of these because you don't have certain things on
made me worried
how
too.
you should. Yeah. So I was like, all right, fine,
Let me
whatever.
tinker with this
I
thing.
heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. I remember hearing you to the side. You were like, "What does this do?" And then James was
I
like, "Oh no."
Yeah. It was like camera speed or something. I was like, no,
Yeah.
leave that
Oh, the
alone, James.
swivel
I'm
speed?
fine with what
Yeah.
I have. And all that stuff.
No,
I
it
was like,
might,
I
it
don't know
might
what they do.
actually, it might be better that you didn't have the stage setup time because see when I did that because I've never done any of that. Obviously, when you're a caster, you never have to set up a stage like to play at all. You're a caster, but yeah, when I did the stage setup the day before to set up the SSDs, they were like, "Oh, can you test it, make sure everything's good?" So I jumped into free play. I'm like, "Man, I suck." I'm so bad at this game. Jeez. And then I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's not the PC. It's just me. Yeah, I'm terrible. All right. Anyway,
But
SSD's all good. But then when the Showmatch started, I was like, oh, this is fine. Yeah, this is a great PC. Like everything feels
there you
fine.
go.
But then I remembered it hit me after. I was like, oh, it's because I don't ever free play. So of course I was like, this is weird. I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
You don't
'Cause
free play at all?
No, I just sit in the main menu, bro. Like,
Same.
it's just-
Same.
I just sit in
I
the
don't
main
free play
menu.
at all.
So the Showmatch was fine. When I was like, oh, this feels like a great PC. It doesn't feel heavy or anything. But yeah, it felt heavy during like setup in free play.
So I was incredibly annoyed because, like, obviously, like I didn't do the walkout, so I couldn't even be in the free play when we practiced before the match. So also, First Touch had an advantage because they walked out first. I'm just going to say that. You know, they had more practice time. But as soon as I get down to sit on my PC, Roldiz scores 2 goals back to back, and we don't skip replays, and I get zero practice at all. They're like, oh, now it's time to go to the game. I was like,
it's fine.
well,
though.
great.
It's
I couldn't even drive my car yet. So yeah, so like my 4th touch in like 3 hours over 3 weeks was a redirect. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That's class.
And then and then after, oh, sorry, Johnny.
No, you go.
Just on the redirect. Do you remember what you said right after? You were like, "Don't tell them my secret. I just never air roll." And it was like the funniest response. I don't know why. He was like, I don't even have a bound. I don't need it.
Oh, I don't air roll. Like I do have it bound at least on the handbrake, but I never use it except to land. That's about it.
Yeah. So like when I say I was supremely confident in you guys winning, that's based on 2 things. One, I knew that FT would stink because they were pretty stinky last time. They were very nervous. But so I was like, I'm sure they're going to be nervous again. But 2, I know Gibbs isn't a caster with an ego about mechanics.
Oh,
and I would be worried if you guys, if CJ and Garrett were playing with one of the casters who wants to prove that they're mechanical.
With Cole.
I'd be a little
worried
because I'd be like, oh no, this could be hard. This could go horribly wrong. But I know Gibbs doesn't have any ego about his mechanics, and anyone who can just like have no ego about being mechanical, just go for the ball. Yeah, sorted. We're obviously going to win this. Like you don't need.
That's why, I had 100% faith because I'm like, that is how I play the game anyway. I'm like, if I'm playing with 2 other good players, that's what I made my Rocket League career based on. I'm just going to feed them the ball. That's all I need to do. And just don't mess up. Just touch the ball and you're fine. And then we saw with First Touch, they again looked kind of nervous on stage. I was surprised at how easy it was to play on stage. You can't hear anything at all. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just playing like normal. So yeah, like outside of no practice, but yeah.
Do you know what that is, Gibbs? It's because we've the whole time. I think people who don't have an ego about their mechanics and maybe even have an ego about being not mechanical, because that's how I would describe myself. I would say, like, I'm proud of not being mechanical. So I think it helps in those situations because you have less things you can mess up. You're just like driving into the ball, flying into the ball. Like, how hard could this be? Just go in a straight line. Yeah, solid.
But the funniest thing was obviously that first minute we planned that I was just going to sit in net. And Garrett asked me, he's like, but you're gonna challenge, right? I'm like, yes, I'm not just gonna sit on the goal. Like Garrett was
nervous.
Garrett was nervous for the first half of game one.
Understated how nervous Garrett was about having Gibbs. I mean, this guy, he talks about like, oh, just memeing. I was just looking up his tracker because it was funny.
It was
like,
it was half. No, it was half joke, but then the other half I was like, I have no idea what to expect here at all. Because even with them, it's like 3 different skill levels. It's like, okay, Radosin is challenging me. I'm getting challenged. Like I don't know. It's just
like
so
proper.
awkward.
Yeah,
it was so weird. But I think, hey, maybe I fired you up. Maybe that's what I'll take the credit.
Like I feel like Garrett, like I saved the day, not only because I carried, obviously, but that redirect allowed GarrettG's like, oh wait, I'm confident now. Like GarrettG's like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened.
That was the best moment.
Now I can play.
Like that was up there with Justin hitting this. I'm not even kidding. I thought a magic trick had just happened. Because I hit the ball towards Gibbs and I was like, okay, he'll probably just hit this back to me or something. No, skimmer redirect. Like it was
I don't know how
just done a card trick. It was so it was the last thing I ever expected to happen.
We have to show it. I'll pull it up. I mean, it's just
pull it up.
It's just one of
It's no exaggeration though. Garrett was looking at Gibbs replays. He was analyzing his
I had to know what to
He
expect.
was looking at the tracker. He was like, oh, I don't know, guys. Like, does he know how to aerial? He was like seriously worried because there's a lot on the line here for Garrett. He's got to go up there and
he does.
Lose
he had to win.
I mean, yeah. Imagine I just never would have heard the end of it. I don't hear the end of Gibbs like right now. Every time I go live, they're like Gibbs carried, and honestly, I'm thinking, thank God, because if it would have been a loss, like that would have just been like. That would have been bad.
Now you had 2 like incredible plays
Garrett,
on
your
the goal
saves
line.
were ridiculous.
Yeah,
your
your saves were
the little
nuts.
pop bump save was crazy. That was
the
like
roll did. I
RLCS
thought the
goal
roll
save.
did. Yeah, I thought the roll did air dribble bump was going in, but then CJ was like,
Yeah, that was
he
nice.
was like, Cap, you got to air dribble, like you gotta do something
I
cool
think it was
here.
a
And I
minute
was like, I
left
can't.
in the
I
last
can't.
game. We're up at 2 goals, and I was like, Cap, you got a couple minutes to show us something here because I think Gibbs right now is cooked. Like he's carrying. Like this is looking bad for us. And you're like, I'm trying.
I'll take the dub.
Like,
I'll take the dub.
Nah, the goal line saves were outrageous.
Yeah,
They were crazy.
Like, it was fun though. I wish it was longer. I get why best of 3 is better, but it went so by so
best of 3
fast.
makes sense.
It was fun. Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they'd been good enough to send it to game 3, maybe, but not even in overtime. Just like straight loss 0-2. They need to step it up, but they're in a bit of a pickle. I mean, what do they do? Do they have to? Does First Touch need a roster change? I know that they're just like hopium that I'll come back in and Omega suck, but I'm telling you, it's not that hard to point your car at the ball and go. Like you get
And
done.
just hit it,
Not a
yeah,
big
it's
deal.
not
Like you hit the ball, cool. You know, it's not. It's an easy role to play when you're playing with these guys. So I think they might need a roster change. First Touch might need somebody who can get more than 0 goals per game, 0 assists per game, like Dazarin can.
let's take a look at this goal because this was probably. If it wasn't the loudest crowd pop as well of the event, it might have been second to NRG winning Game 7. It was right there. So this is a clip. I'm streaming in Discord for you guys as well if you want to watch live with us.
Oh, nice.
Want to watch that stream?
Can never watch this goal enough times.
A lot of space.
It just Gibbs just finds a nice 50. Garrett
just puts it underneath.
The craziest
Everybody's standing up. Like teammates like gets up, drops his controller. He's like, oh, I just give up. He's already sees the memes. He can't believe this has happened.
I mean, like, how has this happened?
They're hyped that teammates got clipped on as well. They're just like, bro, you got cooked.
There's something about no air roll where you are. That is perfect. Like everything you did was perfect. Like, look at the person.
And then the slight rise up, the stair.
Teammates
like,
like trying to.
It was so beautiful because it was honestly
Hilarious.
I didn't even realize, and like that made it
know?
just so much better. Oh man,
This is just
so good.
I mean, there's just
with
something
the heart
about
antenna
you just,
as well, like
I was
rocking an
mind
antenna.
blown. I was so
and the way you just fall off
Teammates
the
is like-
post to get into position as well is just a work.
No,
Just
that
like,
was
there's no
yeah.
jump.
I almost messed that
You
up.
just kind of
A
roll
lot
yourself
of
off the
people
post.
they completely lost control. We just roll with the post like trip there. No big deal.
That is
Oh, that's
outrageous.
so funny.
I can't stop watching it. It's
Nah,
just
T-Base is like a clip mag. He gets clipped on so much in these show matches. It's crazy. I don't know what it is about this guy.
such
He
a good
might- he
shot,
might just be
Gibbs. Like it's
defensive.
such a good.
I love his reaction.
Yeah. Oh.
And again, like so when you're in these matches, like there's 2 things that you want to happen is you don't want to mess up and whiff terribly. Which pretty much everyone on First Touch did throughout this match. And 2 is like, if you can get a clip, sure. But I'm like, my skill is so bad, I'm not hitting a flip reset. I've only scored 2 in my life, and 1 was today. So that's not going to happen. But this was perfect. I only had to be like 3 inches off the ground. This is exactly where I need to be. So that was nice.
And I guess the whole build-up was awesome as well. Obviously, we knew what we were doing. We had the late announcement of Gibbs, which was, I think, worked really well. Thanks to you, Gibbs. I know you're a Hollywood actor as well, not only one of the best Rocket League players we've ever seen, but obviously we do kind of the intros. And that's the thing.
When you guys told me of this, like, obviously I didn't volunteer for this or anything like that. Like, that is the thing I would never do. And as soon as you told me, it was like EU Open 6, I think. Like, one of you was like, oh, you're playing this. I'm like, oh, God. I was like, this is... But as soon as you said that, I was like, there's only one way to do... Yes, exactly. There's only one way to do this, is to pull the shirt off. And then... Like, I didn't know I was going to throw my shirts. But yeah, but... Like, as soon as you guys said that was happening, I was like, this is the only way to announce it.
And Boston had no idea, which is so funny. Obviously, everyone else, all the talent knew, except Boston on the desk. And he's like, man, who's the... Like, this is genuine, like, a genuine reaction from Boston.
He asked me the day before as well. He was like, just tell... Like, he was like, you can just tell me. It was me and him, and I was like, I can't. Dude, so many people asked me. It was like... people were actually hyped to know.
Yeah, so this was like the big reveal. He had the set play with Waypunk here, Gibbs of the... We've got a
with
striker.
the Q. Yeah,
with the midfielder, the striker,
and like Garrett,
the goalie.
And CJ. And now, they have a goalie. Let's go.
It's so fun.
With the close up.
And then I can't stop smiling. I'm like, oh God! I'm like, don't mess up. Just hit my cues.
No,
that's all I cared about.
The reveal of
the double
this
shot.
I just love how there's like a on brand now of us just being the dumbest, just stupidest podcast ever, just completely trolling all the content. And then First Touch are like, they're so cool. They're just like stereotypes.
This double sunny is one of the toughest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is...
It was funny. I actually brought props for the very first time, and I was like, oh, I got 2 sunglasses. I'm going to use them. So.
Oh, it's so funny. Now we're genuinely shocked. Like, every content piece we've done has just been so shocked. It's amazing. But there's some of the best. Like, this was like some of the best content I've seen. And Garrett just can't believe
I couldn't hold the disappointment.
Your
walkout was
too high. You were like, how long do I hold this?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was hyped too. It was such a cold walkout.
So what was really cool about this, and like obviously, like I tweeted later about like my kids watching me, they have no interest in Rocket League. After that match, they have played like 15 hours of Rocket League.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, so they've been playing. They're doing the exhibition, and they'll do Rumble. So I showed them Rumble, so now I think they're just tied to that because power-ups are cool.
That's super sick.
But yeah, so now they've been grinding. They've been playing like a ton. And they play like as a team together, so it's like it's been pretty cool. So I'm like, when he becomes pro, in 5 years, which he never will, but we can look back and be like, all right, I inspired him to actually play the game. So it's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we were getting the new.
See, Roll Discord here, by the way. Roll Discord.
Why was Roll Dis playing the Scarab? Is this some copium?
I think it's copium. Yeah, people are saying he wasn't trying. I'm like, that's copium. Being like, oh, I'm only in the Scarab. It doesn't matter.
He was moving in the first game.
He was moving. He had a double.
Yeah, he had a double. That's right.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a little bit of like, pre-copium in case of the loss, but also just a way to take the pressure off of himself, maybe. So it might be smart.
But I thought it was if they win, he would be like, and I was in the Scarab. Yeah. Like I'm. It was easy.
Hey, shout out to you guys as well. We know the community's got our back, and when we pull up the chat vote, the fan vote here, we knew why. I mean, we didn't have to know the results, but I mean, look at that from the fans, 86%,
and the coin too. Come on,
the coin. Decided to go for Gibbs. I mean, you guys.
I didn't know the percentage. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
this is where that gold total, man. It just doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, there's got to be bronze through gold. Has to have all those goals because like I've been playing at Grand Champ level, and I've seen like maybe a 20-1 favorite of a First Touch crew has the 20 times that we see the Chalkcast crew come out. It's like, I don't know, that gold number is rigged. I don't like it.
Yeah,
and this was probably the third best moment if it wasn't. Yeah, I've got to show Garrett missing the open net, which was my second favorite moment of the event.
Dude,
My third
I hit the
favorite.
ball. I hit the ball. It was wide open.
Hey,
Hit the ball
hey,
so
we'll
hard.
analyze that in a second. But I love this moment. We spoke about it about what we're going to do at the start of the game, and we would have loved Gibbs to be on a single diagonal kickoff, and then he just doesn't go at all. But instead,
just run back to net.
Instead, the observers, the production, they knew what they were doing. They want to focus on Gibbs because he ain't going anywhere else at the start of a game other than just straight into net. And the crowd loves it.
Yeah, that's what the crowd wanted to see. That's actually one of the reasons that we were like, oh my goodness, Gibbs is perfect for this. Because when we knew
we actually added a gimmick.
We were like, oh, we need Gibbs.
Every time you hit it, it was like,
that alone.
Yeah.
CJ trying to pass it up to
See, Garrett, he even aerialed for that. He didn't trust.
For the
Like,
boys.
I wasn't sure the extent of sitting in net. That's why I was like, so are you gonna go?
Garrett, you were going at everything at the start. You were like, oh, he ain't got that. And look at him. I think even the crowd as well at the start, like the cheering, I don't think they knew what you had until you hit that redirect. And then after that, it was like, oh my God. Okay, wait. This is actually really good.
he can actually play.
At the start, they're like, wow, he's hitting the ball. This is crazy. Does he play?
Like one of the coolest things was like the entire production behind it and all the casters. Like James Jorby also had a great cast and stuff. And like, I get like the spotlight was on me, but it was truly like a team effort from every single person, like to highlight it, to make it fun.
Yeah.
So
that's a sick one.
Oh, you like this? Yeah,
this
is actually the best assist
I
in my
watched
career.
it.
And I'm pulling this
I
out.
was left.
25 seconds left. I was like, Cat, get middle.
No
I got
Comm,
you.
he's saying nothing. He's so
I was about to leave here. I was like, no way.
Yeah, I was
No
like,
way
just
they all
like,
missed.
I was like, we need to score. I threw a dime to the cap, and he was loving it. See, and then I'm thinking, surely we're going to win this. Surely this is where the captain is just going to score. He's going to ice out the clock. I get bumped. Gibbs perfect positioning. Throws that thing forward. The pop middle. Daz, another whiff. The captain with and at this point,
listen, it's wide open though.
I'm saying to the captain,
you can't see it at least from the angle.
Left.
I said nothing. I just straight ignored CJ.
Silence from GarrettG as he just rips the crossbar.
Dude, look how hard I hit it. How did I hit it this hard?
But that's right.
And then I said, and then it was silence, and I said, to you.
It's just nothing.
After the crossbar, you say to you.
Yeah, after I missed, I said to you.
To you. I was like, okay, so we score, we won.
He's like us after all.
And then I think your reaction actually here is you put your arms out, but it's almost like a thank God. Like
yeah. Because we were losing most of this game, so I was like, thank God. We're not going to...
Oh, it was iconic. I don't know. I feel like the whole thing was scripted.
It was coming though. It was coming.
Yeah, we lose.
I felt like, okay, you're behind, but it feels like it's coming. I don't know when, but I feel like
yeah, like I felt pretty comfortable. Like even in game one, sure we were losing, but I was like, this is like that happens when you're comfortable and you lose one of the games. I wasn't worried.
That's what the first show match felt like, and then we just lost both games.
Yeah, we lost. Well, we were really comfortable. We were dominating. Then we just lost a 0-second goal.
Kickoff goal.
You guys were winning like
we
both
lost
games.
a couple. We were winning multiple times. We were winning a lot in that series, but I mean, I had to keep
honestly,
I had to keep not going for the ball in kickoffs for the memes, and we didn't practice that.
After that first Gibbs aerial, I honestly was very relieved after that. I'm not gonna lie. That very first one, I was like, oh, okay.
He's got it. Like he knows what he's doing.
You look at my rank. I was grand champ at least. Like, come on.
But I don't know. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. Like,
actually, Garrett, you stream these games. I was gonna say the other day we played some US West ranked. CJ, Garrett, and we ran into like some NA bubble players who sometimes make main events, sometimes don't. And Garrett is just like absolutely cooking them. Like I've never seen anything like it. I was like, why did this guy retire? First toucher in
I was kind of peeking in those games.
You were. It was ridiculous. You just had like 1,600 points in regulation on a win. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I will say I thought we were gonna win just because like the quality we had, and I thought Gibbs could hold his own, but I didn't think that Gibbs would be the one carrying us, and we'd just be the ones holding our own. Like that was.
Yeah. I was.
To
so
be fair,
happy about
CJ,
it. Awesome.
you had the best goal. All right, like that pass at least.
Oh, the best set. No, you had the best goal. I mean,
the redirect was the best goal.
You got the most clips at the event.
I'm pointing at Gibbs.
He's like, look at this. That was relief.
I was like,
oh my God.
That was my disbelief in it. Like, I was like, oh my God.
I can't believe this happened.
What am I playing?
It was this guy. That was a nice shot as well from CJ.
And then they had the slow mo.
Yeah, that was a nice read.
The slow mo cam was
like
crazy as well.
I was like, yeah, dap me up, and you never did it.
Yeah, and I was like, well, 2 people are standing. So I guess I'll stand.
Yeah, that was it was good fun. And game 2 was I mean, we played in the background, I guess. But it was business as usual once we won game 1. And
you tried to throw a bit, CJ, on that one kickoff where you just did absolutely nothing. But besides that,
I missed corner boost.
You were like trying for the content game 3, but we were like, nah, it's not happening.
Did you miss the ball or something?
No, I just missed boost. My half flip.
Yeah, missed boost. Like ran up the corner. It was like super weird. Yeah.
There's the T-baits. What the Neo Tokyo as you call it, Gibbs.
Great pass.
I went for that too.
That was from JohnnyBoi though. Like, I saw the tweet.
So I got it. Garrett's like, I'm here if you need.
I'm coming in.
Yeah. great trust from the captain.
Garrett, no trust at all in any of these plays.
Diaz said like me and Bates have to practice next time before this because they both were awful.
They need a roster change.
I thought they were practicing. T-Bates played a lot of twos, didn't he?
Win.
He did, but that week he didn't practice, I guess.
Yeah, he went out of town early. Like he was in North Carolina like for a week before too, I think.
I mean, it's not like I guess you were kind of practicing, Garrett, but I definitely was not practicing.
I always play.
US West was the extent of my gameplay.
I just know that with Rizzo on literal almost 0 hours and us, I think as a trio, the previous trio, Rizzo, CJ, and I, we played like 10 games ever together before the show match, and I think 5 of them were in the week in the run-up. In the backstage area. We played some more with Fever masquerading as Rizzo. CJ and I played with Fever
Falcons.
With the Rizzo tag. Yeah, we beat Falcons in one game. They thought it was Rizzo, so they were kind of trolling a little bit. It was actually Fever. But no, I just know with 0 prep, we caught first touch scrimming multiple times that week.
That's so funny,
as we're leaving the venue. And they won 2 overtimes where we're like, a little bit trolling. So I was like, nah, there's no way. We've picked up Garrett. They're not winning. They need a roster change.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
They need a roster move. If they want to beat the G-Man.
Yeah.
But at least this does like it's perfect now because now you get your 3rd match where like there's an excuse because you weren't there, Johnny's.
Yeah,
but I don't know what you do after that because you're getting 2-0. So I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm just going to come back, score a goal per game again. That's what I do. I'm a goal per game on LAN. So,
Just do your thing.
Goal machine. 100% goal
power. Not to cope, but like if for some reason I was just cooking, I think it would have been really bad. Like
it would have been, yeah.
It would have just been like, okay, we're never doing this again.
Yeah, I'm glad that on purpose
I
you
was
did
about to watch.
Yeah, that's
it. Just would have been awkward. I think it just would have been like whatever, or if like even if CJ was just going crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
you
like
guys just dominated 7-0. It was a good amount. It was a good amount of.
There's reasonable doubt in us with Johnny now.
Yeah, exactly. If we just got to Johnny, that's what it would have been over. But we've set up a rematch because there's genuine like belief that Gibbs might just be a freak. And that's the reason we won. And it could be the reason we won. We could be coping right now thinking we're just going to win easy. Because he was that good.
There was multiple times where me and CJ were in front of the ball. And then this is also when I felt very confident. I'd be like, all right, because I always do this
like
anyway.
Any touch.
Like any touch.
Yeah, that play right there. He said any touch like 5 times. I'm like, Garrett, chill, man. Chill.
That's a normal
comment.
That's a normal comment. That's a comment I say with anyone.
It is a normal comment.
But you were making me like nervous. Because you were like, any touch, please.
Well, I was trying to say, like, you can hit off the backboard. I'm here for you. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah. That's just a comment I do in 6-man, too.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Because then, on the other hand, sometimes there's a comm where it's like, it's got to be you. That's a comm as well. It's just you. It's got to be you. I do not.
Here's my pass. Beautiful pass, but they don't even show it. Oh,
beautiful finish.
So upset.
Yeah, Gibbs is just probably talking to me about how bad the shot was. He was like, "We should have had a better shot there because it was a great pass." I was like, "You're right." I kind of just popped it on net. But no, it worked out. But worked out great.
Yeah, one of them was like Roldiz had a 1-on-1 with me, and I dunked him, and I just start trashing Roldiz in our comms for no reason. Garrett and CJ don't react at all. They're still calm.
Did you really?
I'm like, guys, yeah. I was like, Roldiz is trash. He's got nothing. And you guys are just common normally. And because
he was right here. He had a 1-on-1.
Right there, yeah. And I just started trashing. I don't even remember that in our comms. Because I'm like, we have this win. I'm not worried about this at all. But you guys,
I'm like,
full serious.
Over to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, fine, guys. Yeah, exactly. Fine.
Over to you.
I don't remember that at all. Look at that Gibbs time.
I just wanted that bump on T-bait, so that's the only thing.
They were very flat, but I just think the Gibbs redirect set up the entire game. After that, it was over. Like we skimmed across, won by a couple of goals, but
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was perfect. We 2-0 in the rematch. We don't have Johnny there. Johnny might be terrible, which is the copium from first
No,
touch.
I'm terrible, but the best part is it doesn't even matter. Like I think we could win with me playing on controller. I think it really is.
That's
not
the best
a factor.
part. First touch think that Gibbs is just so
they
good.
think that they're gonna win.
And it leaves that little the disbelief.
Might be more confident.
It would just be a different type of win. Like imagine a win where there is no redirect and there is no like Gibbs locking it down in defense. It would just be more Garrett and CJ. That's what the win would look like. So I'm supremely confident
Yeah.
in the rematch. I hope they make. I mean, they might make a roster change. They might.
They don't need a change. I think that was a perfect kind of full circle moment. I think Garrett spoke about it for us before the game started. Like Garrett was like Gibbs was the first person you were watching. Used to rock a hard hat to try and be like Gibbs back in the day.
That's so cool.
Then here we are.
The first time I got top 100, I was rocking the Gibbs preset.
There you go. And they were all playing.
And also, one of the first pros I trashed was probably GarrettG's team as well. So in those pro power rankings,
have we spoken about this on the show?
No, we have not.
Gibbs?
Dude, Gibbs would go in on us. Like the Eiffel Tower comment. Do you remember that, Gibbs?
I
couldn't find that post.
Staten Island or something. Like you were taking the ferry over to Staten Island because you weren't even to the pro power rankings or something. So you were like. Something like that. I
thought you had said if you stood on top of the Eiffel Tower, you would see the curvature of the Earth before you saw us.
I don't think it was that. It might have been, and it was the one power rankings where I'm like, I'm gonna be creative. Like, I'm gonna write creatively for this. I don't know why I did it.
Was this bored. Like the difference between them and 8th or something?
Yeah. No, 9th. Yeah. Like we were top 9 at the time. We weren't supposed to make league play. To be fair to Gibbs, we got good at it. Like it was like didn't make sense. We weren't supposed to be in league play or anything. So. But he did trash us a little bit. No, for sure.
So I do have one story for you guys. So yesterday, like I was at the doctor's office, right? And I was just thinking about this LAN and all this stuff, and I was like, "What am I doing here?" So I was going for the vasectomy consultation. And I was like, "You know what? I should spawn more children." Because of the clutch genes, I really should. And they have a thing where you got to fill out a form, and then they have to wait 30 days before you can actually do it. And I was like, you know what? I really need to think this over because I should spawn a full team before I am done with this.
Before you stop. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I was thinking of you guys when I was in the doctor's office, and I was thinking of that match. So
when
it's fun.
When we were in the show match, and the legend of the last time you were on was Halo 2 Gibbs versus Def Kid. Did you channel that? Were you channeling Halo 2 Gibbs when you stepped up there? Were you looking across at 3 Def Kids? When you
should have, after I scored that goal, like done an ear thing, something like, "Can you hear?" I should have, but I'm also, but at the same time, no one else would have got it.
No, that would be a great.
We would have understood though.
Like I can't hear. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I guess it's the opposite, but yeah, I don't know.
Just make sure to point first.
Oh man, yeah.
That is outrageous. You're right. The clutch gene, I thought it was kind of you were making it up. Not making it up, but you just kind of, that was confidence. But there's something about you, Gibbs, where you just step up. I mean, any sport, any discipline, any random party game, it feels like you've got it.
Like I always say, and my wife I will say this too, and my friends, is that there's a Gibbs luck factor in most things I do. There was one, we were in the back of green room. I shot a Gatorade bottle, like 3-point shot in a very small bin.
Oh, I was there. That was fire.
Of course. And then, with my makeup, I'll remove her sheet. And I was just like, hey, this is what I do. I find a way to win. That is what I do. And Leaf did too, because when we did the 1v1 tournament, he was like, oh, I'm better than you, Gibbs, but you're going to win. And we played like 4 games because he kept recording wrong. Leaf. Like, he's like, I can definitely beat you. And I'm like, you can't, Leaf. It's impossible.
In the 1v1 thing.
Yeah. And like, he felt like he could win. But we played like 4 games and I just won all 4. Leaf. This is not going to happen. Yeah.
Oh my God. You just don't lose.
It's just
ridiculous. If I would have known all this lore, I mean, I don't know.
I was trying to tell you, and you were just like,
I couldn't have been on the season 8 team.
CJ, you're confident. CJ's confident no matter the circumstances. Like, I don't trust any of your confidence ever.
You would just not
I trust
believe
Johnny's
it.
opinion more. Johnny just says how it is a little something more than CJ does. CJ's just ready to go.
I was
CJ's got the
it
Aussie
was,
level
it was like the
confidence.
day, the night before as well. We're out for dinner, and you would just. I feel like I had to have twice as much confidence. I had to like have your confidence. You know what I mean? Because you had nothing. I had to be twice as confident to carry you.
Well, it was more to me. It was more the anxiety of going on stage. Like the last year I was going on stage, it was not fun. It was me fighting for my career. So it was hard for me to just go and have like just think of it in a fun way. I don't know why. It was just
That's fair.
it was an anxiety like lead up to it. But as soon I knew this would happen. As soon as we were doing it, it was fun. I was like, it's just the thought of it for me.
It's like I was nervous for the cues on the desk to the walk, and I was like, just don't trip, don't do any of that. Like I blacked out the crowd noise or any of that. I was just like, I need to hit my cues, and we're good, and that's all I cared about. Then after that, like once we were in game, I was like, oh, you can't hear anything. Like this is fine.
Yeah.
Didn't you say something? Gibbs like, I don't know, why do these kids get nervous on stage? Like, I can't even tell. I can't even tell I'm playing in front of a crowd right now. They've got
you
no
really
excuses.
can't tell at all.
I
like
think
obviously,
I'm telling you, it's a
games,
non-mechanical buff. I really think it's a non-mechanical buff. Because like T-Base was saying that he felt heavy, and that's the worst setup he's ever played on. I was like, bro, this thing just felt like, I don't know, buttery smooth. I could not even check my settings, didn't change any settings, just left it all the same. I think it's a zero mechanical buff. That's what it is.
You need to,
Yeah.
you don't want to try too hard.
You need that on LAN because like if you're a little nervous or you're out of your element a bit and you try for those mechs.
Yeah, if you try something too mechy, then maybe you'd find out. But the thing is, like, I managed to go 10 minutes, but actually it's more like 15 minutes in the overtimes without trying anything mechanical. All I did is hit the ball as hard as possible every time I touched it. So I felt fine. I was like, yeah, that was somewhat of a power shot. Like the range of acceptable outcomes is much wider if your playstyle is just hit the ball as opposed to, okay, I've got to get this perfect reset. I've got to get this perfect flick or whatever.
I never thought the crowd was what made me nervous back then. It was more the stakes. Like this could either be the best day ever, or like I might get kicked after this.
That's
like,
that's a different.
It's more like the stakes of everything you do is like
this is the world championship or something.
Yeah,
that's big, obviously, and so much money on the line as well. It's like
I would be nervous if there was money on the line. Yeah,
I don't know if the players think about prize money when they're playing.
They don't think about it, but it's like you inherently know. Like I don't know, you just deep down below your conscious thoughts, you know that this matters so much because of the money and because of the pro contracts and because of everything else. So it just like mounts pressure on you, because I'm sure they're aware that there is prize money, which is all it needs to happen for the nerves to be present. I remember I talked about, I think it was actually on a First Touch podcast about this. And they were like, oh, yeah, the prize money doesn't matter. I was like, I don't know if I agree. I think that definitely makes people nervous without even thinking about it.
But it worked out perfectly. We cannot thank Gibbs enough for coming on, and we probably didn't realize at the time just how, I guess, well it fit with the 10-year anniversary of Rocket League. Gibbs playing in front of the crowd, one of the OGs, I guess, one of the first people that anyone started watching. I kind of joked that it was the drone footage of Kronovi and Sad Jr. back in the day for Gibbs, watching like he was like the cameraman for the boys.
Thank you, Crow, for being lazy. Thank you for not putting on YouTube.
And the Kronovi Gibbs 1v1 is iconic. It's got has it a million views or something?
Oh god, yeah. So viral.
So it all worked out perfectly. The last thing on the show match before we dive into, I guess, a recap of the major itself is we kind of soft launched our new tease with Gibbs rocking this bad boy. It is absolutely iconic as well. I cooked this up in about 5 minutes, but it's turned out into a pretty good piece of merch.
It is nice. It is nice.
I think I know a lot of people want them, so let me try and cook something up, and maybe we can release our first merch of the chalk keys. One in chat if you'd like chalk tees. One in chat if you'd like one. 100% I'm getting one. There you go. That's already one person. But it's got myself, Rizzo. It's got Gibbs actually. It's got Gibbs.
Don't tell Epic. Don't tell Epic.
Don't tell Epic that Gibbs is naked on this tee. Maybe if I can full screen myself.
Oh, the people will know. I think the people will know. But yeah, Gibbs is naked.
Yep, one of the best moments of all time.
On mine as well, CJ, if you need. Oh, if I can figure it out.
Oh, CJ, you're muted.
Oh.
How's CJ? How have you done this?
Hello? Am I good? I think
How
I
does
was
this keep
just too
happening?
far away from the. Hang on.
There it is. If you want to see the Gibbs, you can't see the whole shirt here,
There
but
we
in
go.
my background.
You just seem that like Gibbs. Gibbs has got it under control.
Yeah.
What king?
There you go. One day CJ will get it. One day.
I've got it. I think I've got it. All right. I'm just gonna. This is gonna be a little bit scuffed, but this is going to be for the stream transition. Anyway, that scene was absolutely
Yeah,
stuffed. You couldn't hear anything.
Fernando's gonna need to just cut that whole section for the audio listeners because there wasn't any. But yeah, it's all good. It's just the bus scene. Yeah, the bus scene.
Yeah.
Season 8. Gibbs'
Not
element.
fully. All right. Really quick, Garrett, because we probably haven't talked about the bus scene. Did you expect that going into
No.
season 8, or like I didn't
No.
expect it either? To be fair, because I was getting changed into like a normal shirt, and then I see the three of you walking onto the bus, and I was like, I guess now it's like now or never at this point. So I was like, all right,
It was awesome.
we're gonna go for it. And then
It was
Sizz
awesome.
had to be recording for some vlog, and I even pointed at him, and that's when you see the point one, because there's like, and I was like, that's for your personal collection, is what I say to him. Trying to imply, do not post this.
Yeah, you can't trust Sizz. You can't trust Sizz.
And I was like, oh well.
No, but I'm glad. I mean, it was awesome. If it was anyone else, like it was the fact that it was you. Like it was just so funny. It was so sick. I knew everyone was waiting on us at the bus too, so we were like hurrying up, and I didn't expect everyone to celebrate.
Wait, so was it? I thought it was Gibbs getting on the bus, but was it Gibbs in the back?
No, I was already on the bus.
He was in the back. I just get on. I look down the middle of the bus, and Gibbs was going. Or whatever. I was like, oh my God.
He just swinging his shirt around.
I did get in trouble from the esports team. They actually were like, hey, don't undress in front of minors again. Like they weren't like too mad.
But it
they
was
were
like shirt
please
off
don't.
kind of vibes, so
please don't do this. And then I was like, well, technically in Spain, they weren't minors. Because I
No,
looked
no,
it
don't
up.
say that.
And they were not happy. They were not happy.
Yeah, that's not the answer, bro. You don't say that.
They were not happy at all. And I was like, well, you
technically
know,
in the Philippines, you know. Don't say that.
I think shirt off is fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think they were like, "Hey, just future reference, don't do this."
Yeah.
So it's not the worst, but that comment didn't help. But
yeah, that comment is not never the response.
Yeah, because like while I was in this conversation, I looked it up. So I was like, "Oh, this will be like an hilarious comeback." Because I didn't know it offhand, because I'm not a creep or anything. So I looked it up. And then I was like,
you didn't check beforehand. It's like just one of your party tricks, so I can tell you the age of consent in every country.
They just pulled it up.
Oh, well, actually,
this is information that I know off the top of my head.
One of my tricks.
Oh no.
Let's jump in, boys. To we went a while on the show match, so let's jump into the major itself. Obviously, we were there on hand. Johnny, you had the view party, actually, with the view party as well. How was that with the boys? EU view party in England.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Yeah, I mean, we're at the Endpoint facility. Shout out Endpoint. It was really fun. Sheffield's actually a lot more fun than I expected. I thought Sheffield was like a little town. Never been there, but it's like a medium-sized city. A lot of like student population, and a lot of like bars and restaurants and stuff that are they're all kind of not empty, but you don't have to wait for a pool table or a darts board. They're all just available. I'm like, what's going on? Like, there's people in here, but none of them are using them. So I mean, yeah, we had a good time. Just chilling out outside the venue.
Can we talk about the shoeys? Because I think you mentioned them off stream, and honestly, as a shoey main myself, I'm nearly gagging thinking about what you guys did.
Have you watched the Stumpy video?
I have watched it, and I'm not gonna. I don't think I can pull it up on stream because I think it's too much. I think can you just describe it as you did?
Pure audio listeners don't. No, we definitely don't want to pull it up on stream. But yes, so the whole idea is so Shogun actually missed our big shoey-thon that we did when CJ was in Scotland. We done a bunch of shoeys. Well, actually, yeah, I think you just said 100 gifted and Johnny will do a shoey. I'm like, ha, good one, as if that's happening. Before I know it, 100 gifted, I'm like, great, okay, so I'm just doing a shoey now in my living room. Fantastic. So that, yeah, you've all seen that, I'm sure. The big shoey Taj.
I mean, Garrett was
Shogun
doing
missed it. He was gutted. He did. Yeah, Garrett got involved. We need to get Gibson involved.
Garrett's
for the
done a
next one,
couple
but,
since then as well, just quietly. I think he's kind of he's grown a bit of a
he's
liking.
enjoying
another
them.
one. I did another one for gifted.
Oh, there you
Again.
go.
Yeah,
He's done another
So,
one.
And
yeah,
so did my
Garrett-
roommate. So did my roommate, and his shoe was just. I mean, he used a
You
used.
did it out of your
I mean, it was a
roommate's
bad
shoe?
shoe.
Oh.
My roommate did one with his shoe, and it was looking rough in there. So shout out to him.
Yeah, the shoey price for Garrett is priced in. If you want more shoes like Garrett, like you could do that on a stream at any time, pretty much. Confirmed.
do not promote that, please.
Yeah, we need to get Gibbs involved in it. Shogun was gutted that he missed it because he wasn't streaming when we done that, and we were like, oh well, I mean, let's just get him to do one right now. So we got Shogun some gifted subs to do a shoey. He did one, all good. Then Cole and Stumpy had the great idea that for gifted subs they would do shoeys out of each other's shoes. And
Which is
the
okay,
gifted
depending
they started
shoe.
coming in. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this is like pretty standard. But when the gifted started coming in, Cole realized that Stumpy had no socks on. He was just raw dogging his
Oh.
shoe.
Nah, then
So-
I just
Oh, no.
Yeah, that didn't sit well with Cole. So
That
he
is-
couldn't believe it, and he then thought he had to get even. He took his shoe off, took his sock off, and also got sockless.
Oh,
And then he got up and since he thought, okay, Stumpy's had his sock off for like hours in this thing. I've got to do some catching up here. So he started doing star jumps to get sweaty feet
star jumps.
so that his shoe would be more minging by the time that they do shoeys in them. And it worked. When all my days, when he took his shoe off to give it
Don't.
to Stumpy to do a shoey, I could smell it from across the room. I was like, that is vile. That's absolutely vile. I could smell it from across the room. And then before you know it, Stumpy's like just ripping a Corona out of that thing. Just full on. He'd done the whole thing. And then he said his words, his description was, he got like a waft of cheese at the end
Oh.
of his
Next
chug. He got a
topic,
waft
CJ.
of
Next
cheese.
topic,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
And,
Let's move on.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
they,
if you want to
they
hear the
take it
noise
too
he
far,
made, I'm
those
not
two.
gonna replicate the noise he made. But yeah, go to Stumpy's Twitter. You'll hear the noise he made.
All right, that's
It's disgusting. Don't do it during dinner or anything. But yeah, that's what we were up to in Sheffield, pretty much. That's the
yeah,
view
awesome.
party.
Sounds like the view party
Summary right there.
went great. You guys are having a great time.
It went
Okay.
really well.
All right, let's.
Oh, you guys want me to keep going? Yeah, I can keep going.
No, that's enough. I mean, as I said, I feel like I'm a shoey main, but there was something about that just the no socks and stuff just doesn't sit well
No, that
with
was
me.
disgusting. That was
Yeah.
disgusting.
But good to see you guys are having a good time. The Raleigh Major itself, though,
I had a
boys.
great time.
Obviously, Falcons finally getting the job done in an RLCS event. They took out FIFA E. That was kind of the did they win was it a real LAN? Was it not a real LAN? But finally in the RLCS, bit of a full, not full circle as well, but obviously TRK was at the first event that MENA were involved in back in Sweden. And here he is now.
They've all been in 3 finals. So well,
Feels
actually,
like-
I guess if you include FIFA E, they've all been in 4 finals before FIFA E, Esports World Cup, Gamers 8, once each. And well, actually, it was Gamers 8 for the Twins, London for TRK, and then of course they all had one together in London 3. So they'd all been in 4 finals, winning one of them. And they have 5th one in RLCS.
Weren't they
won
in the
together.
finals of EWC as well? So that
Yeah,
would be
so
another
yeah,
one too,
Esports
right?
World Cup's 1,
Oh, that's
London
real?
3
Okay.
is 2,
Got it.
and then they had Gamers 8
was one.
for
Oh, okay.
Rule
Yeah.
1, and then London 1 for TRK, plus FIFA
Gotcha.
E. Which personally I did count. I thought FIFA E was
yeah,
massive
France
win.
is
I
pretty
thought
good.
that ticked
Yeah.
the box when you beat Zen, Vatira, Monkey Moon in an
Definitely
international
counts.
LAN.
a pretty
I
good
was like,
place.
that counts in my mind.
Yeah.
But some people didn't count it because it's not RLCS.
T-Bates wasn't a big fan of that one. I thought it was just set up for them. But
It'd be a
they
different story if NRG won it. If NRG won it, it would have counted. I'm sure.
incredibly
Better
dominant though, boys. I think it was the third. We were looking up Gibbs. Was it like the third most dominant LAN win that we'd seen?
It was
No,
the most dominant.
Oh, it was the
the
most
most dominant because we messed up with our numbers
Oh,
live. But yeah,
okay.
so it was. The
They
most
dropped
dominant
3
ever.
games.
Mhm.
Three
Most dominant
games?
split of all time as well. It was more
Yes.
dominant than the Vitality split. So
4
it's the most
games.
dominant split, most dominant LAN run. Pretty crazy actually. The 2 most dominant LAN runs have been at what we would all probably say are
Most
the 2 most
competitive.
stacked LANs in Rock League history.
That's crazy.
That doesn't make sense.
I was happy to
and
see
then
Clears do so good because when they were
Yes,
here,
same.
like I always play ranked like pretty late, and this guy did not get off the game during their boot camp. Like he was playing rank 2s until like 3 a.m. every night, so he was grinding.
That's what they
The
did
other
over
two
there.
were just off. So I
Yeah,
feel
he
like
put
he
the
had.
most goals per game in a grand final ever. He beat out
Yeah,
Crow.
that's insane.
It was like Crow
Crazy.
and one other one. He had
That's crazy.
1.8 goals per game during that series. Nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a juggernaut.
they were one of the favourites going in, but the actual favourite that was probably, was KC versus the field. If you had said that Carmine Corp finished 7-8,
Reverse swept as well
before this event, and reverse swept, I mean,
crazy.
The percentage chance of them not, getting top 8 or 7-8 spot would be so low. You'd expect them to make it further, but that was, I don't even know how to describe that series. It was just a turning point. They dominated the first 3 games against Twisted Minds in that lower bracket round 1. They 5-0'd game 3. Had already used their timeout.
Swiss as well. They
Swept
beat
them
them
in
6
Swiss.
games in a row.
round 1. Yeah.
Crazy.
And then they lose 4 in a row. I mean, Rise has the aura buff maybe, but I don't know. That was surprising. What do you guys think of Carmine Corp from that run?
I'd say like
yeah, you go, I guess.
they're still so good. Like I think
Yeah.
you still like if you're doing power rankings, I think Johnny had him too. I still have him too. I'm like, we know what they can bring.
Yeah.
It was a bad event for them, but even at a bad event like that, they still should have finished top 6 at the very least, and probably would have made a run throughout that because they would have played NRG next. And NRG, again, somehow the 15th best offense at a major, yet again. So I think K-Corp probably wins that match as well. So they probably would have finished top 4 like if they didn't lose to Twisted Minds. But yeah, like I think that they'll be fine, and it's just going to fuel them for EWC.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just think that winning twice in a row is so hard. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah,
I almost wanted them to go into Worlds with a win because it's just like there's a level of like I don't know, passion, I guess the word is, after you win that you just can't fake. Like even Drawley's title nowadays is like locking in. Like you just relax a little bit.
Right.
Because you're excited to get back to the final. You don't think about all the matches before. So I think they're going to be insanely strong at Worlds after this, and they're all going to be really hungry.
So are you more confident now than if they won this event?
Yes. No joke.
I would say no, just because Falcons became Falcons again. Because I thought Birmingham, they were not the same Falcons team at all.
Yeah,
and they looked bad. Like I felt like in Birm. So now that the Falcons are red hot, I think yes, K Corp versus everyone else outside of Falcons, I'm confident in K Corp. But because Falcons are looking like Falcons, then that hurts their odds. I guess it's not as high of odds as they had here.
Yeah, I just think if they went undefeated into Worlds at France, the pressure on them, like the mindset would have been like, this is ours. Like this is our. Now it's gonna be like, okay, well we're another team. Like we gotta work for it. We gotta earn it.
Grind,
I think the pressure would have been because that's like fairy tale win. Finally get my Worlds win in France, like in front of all the French fans. Like it would have been too much pressure. I think. It still will be a lot of pressure.
It's still going to be a ton of pressure.
I think it's a good mental reset. It's the best time to have a mental reset right before. It's like making a roster change before Worlds. It's the success rate is obviously not the same, but I think it's a good timing for them.
Just the monkey moon. You want to peak late. Don't worry about the early ones. But I feel like I don't know about you guys. I feel like I know less about I guess the upcoming World Championships based on this event than I did going in. One, because KC lose. Probably the only thing now is you're more confident in Falcons that they can do it in a grand final. But there's still so many question marks. Vitality looked fantastic, and then they come up against Dig, who just keep on beating them. Now they've beaten them 3 times in a row. And then you got NRG, who are just still you always say, Gibbs, their floor is, top 4. They've hit it again, and then they lose. And then Furia, who we kind of had as a top 4, top 6 team, don't make it out of the Swiss, but they lost to KC in round 5. So if they get a different matchup round 5, perhaps it's a different playoff. So then they show up as a different team.
Who else did they lose to? They lost to Furia, and who was the other one?
Oh, K Corp Ultimates.
K Corp, Vitality, Twisted.
Furia. I mean Furia.
Twisted.
Vitality, and Twisted.
Vitality. Yeah.
So they had no quality.
They lost
wins
to all top 6. I mean, actually, they're losing to KC and.
But
losing to some very good teams. So yeah, Furia, their strength of schedule is pretty bad for them with the losses. Got trolled a little bit by KC, losing, I guess. Yeah, I think they're going to be okay. I still think Furia are another one of those teams like NRG who are just like it's weird seeing them outside of the top 4 with how many times they've had it.
Yeah, Furia, like I'm
yeah.
still confident, like for top 8, like in most tournaments, I expect them to be in the top 8. It was just a bad run. It was also weird because Birmingham, like I felt like was the best we've ever seen from them, and then they couldn't replicate that. So now everyone's just going to say that that was their peak, and their peak might be top 4. But hopefully we get to see them back make another run because it's always more fun when there's more regions involved.
Secret picked it up though.
Secret did.
Yeah,
Team
Secret
bounce
picked
back.
up the scrap. So what a performance by Secret. Did not see that one coming at all.
Top
both
seeds.
2 seeds.
So flat.
Right? Yeah.
Both 2 seeds from MENA and Sam was like the best ever. Like I did not expect the Twisted Minds level up either. Like I feel like Atomic and Rise were.
Atomic in particular was ridiculous.
I did think that they were getting a bit disrespected because I did my event power ranking tweet and I had so many replies like saying that it was like straight disrespect to put TM because I power ranked TM over I think I put them over both Space Station and Gen G. I didn't put Gen G in my top 10, so I definitely had them over Gen G. But yeah, I had so many people saying it was disrespectful, like fans and just people in the timeline. I was like, really? Is it? I don't know. I feel like Twisted Minds might be the team getting a bit disrespected. Yeah. Like, fair enough, they lost a couple times in MENA, but they got top 8 in Birmingham comfortably, and like that's a nasty team. It's Rise Atomic, like Nwpo. How are we talking about them as like?
I was just worried because it felt like a lot of Nwpo and Birmingham. Like it looked like a lot of
I agree.
And then, but this one, like I don't remember really noticing Atomic or I mean, like I didn't feel like there was a lot from them last LAN, and this LAN they looked like red hot.
Yeah,
So I just didn't expect that after. I don't think I feel like Birmingham was still kind of a letdown for them because of that. Like
the way they got eliminated, they got beaten pretty bad in the top 8 match with Furia, so that was a bit of a letdown. But yeah, they I think a lot of the like NA and EU fan base were just very quick to write them off because it suited their narratives to say, yeah, I mean, Twisted Minds, they've lost a couple series in MENA, they're probably like not very good anymore. That was about the extent of thought that I'm sure went into most people's Twisted Minds predictions, just because it suited them to they'd be able to squeeze one more EU team or one more NA team into their top 8.
Space Station top 8, and that didn't work out.
I thought Space Station were going to be a lot better. I knew they might be nervous, but they were really nervous. I think maybe the expert comments about NA top 4 being really strong and like NA top 4 looking better online might have been a bit of a bad idea.
Yeah, don't get Garrett and I to do predictions without Johnny. I think Johnny really balances us out because Johnny could have joined our predictions bonus episode, Gibbs, and we had all 4 of NA in the top 8. Which
hey, Batira said it himself.
He did.
That the NA top 4 was better than the top 4.
It's just a masterclass from Batira.
We should have known it was storyline.
Batira and Farah, they're just playing. They're running rings around NA fans.
They're running rings around me. That had me.
They're like, oh no, we don't have any kickoff strats. We just get lucky. Yeah, NA top 4 looks really good. I'm like, guys, how is this all people need to hear? But I mean, yeah, even if it was genuine from Vatira and Farah, because it could be like NA top 4 did look really good. Like I still think it's like it's not something that you should take as like the word of the law. Is like even if a pro says, oh, this team looks really good in scrims, I consciously try to ignore that when I'm making my predictions because over the years that has only led to my predictions being wrong.
Yeah, or like team issues. Team issues as well.
This team's breaking
team issues, then the team's red hot.
Yeah.
Happens every
That always I'm telling you, 90% of Worlds winners have had just huge beef.
This team's breaking up after this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They win Worlds.
I wish I didn't know. Like when somebody tells me like, oh yeah, this team's like beefing, they're mad at each other. I'm like, thanks. Wish I didn't know that because now I'm probably that's gonna make my predictions biased against them. And I'm going to be wrong because I should just look at nothing but results. Like results should be the only thing I care about.
Yeah, it's one of
scrims.
It's like it's so hard because like NA, I feel like this happens a lot where they're like, well, regionally we look so good, and we've heard this story before, and then it doesn't happen on LAN. And it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, normally I am a hater, but you know what? I'll give them flowers for once.
Yeah.
And this is what they do to me. This is what they do. Have one team in the top 8. So I'm like, never again. We're going back to Europe only, maybe a little MENA as well.
We just need different words because like this is a learning moment, not for the NA teams, but for the NA like hardcore fan base. Because it would have been really easy to just say, hey, super promising lineup, loads of potential. Like the ceiling is sky high for these teams. Rally's a learning experience. If that was like the general conversation going in, it's a win-win. They make top 8, amazing. They don't, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
But the whole community is like, nah, NA top 4 is better than EU top 4. NA top 4 is goated. And now, okay, suddenly losing is not acceptable. And these are just some young, inexperienced teams with so much pressure on them. Because I'm sure they read it. They shouldn't, but I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I think you saw
yeah.
it with Space Station as well. Like
I'm sure they read it.
They
I
took a
still
while.
think online. Yeah, I still think online Space Station look great. I feel like they just have
They were
a
amazing. Yeah,
they have a
they are
very
amazing.
chaotic playstyle that I think is going
hard to
take
do
time
on
to
LAN.
recreate.
Yeah, when you start
It
thinking
is. It's a
about
hard play style to
And then
execute.
Genji as well, like in that Dig series, I felt like they had them beat most games, and then it was
Yeah,
just
they
one
look
dunk.
they look good.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, I still think the potential for like a random NA top 8 run is there, but
Absolutely,
Yeah,
the
for
potential's
sure.
there. That's what the community needs to focus on. I think if you're an NA fan right now, you should be saying that, learning experience, potential's there, esports World Cup, learning experience. It's just more reps before the big one that matters. Beating France in France. That should be the goal for every Rocket League like pro and coach and org. Like that is history. They make it not, Rally and esports World Cup.
You
Even though
say
these events,
the
they do matter. They are money in the bank, but the world's is the big one.
you say the potential's there, definitely like Genji and Space Station. But can we talk about ultimates for a second? I mean, if results matter, you have ultimates as a top 2 in Birmingham to, you're probably predicting them to maybe a top 6, top 4, and the 2 grand finalists, one gets reverse swept in a series in a best of 7. Ultimates got reverse swept out of the Swiss bracket. They were the tournament favourites after day 1, beating KC, beating Space Station. Which Space Station had always, I guess, online had the Ultimates number, at least that last split, and they beat KC. They in the rematch from Birmingham, 3-1, and then they come out the next couple of days, the next day, and lose to Falcons, which is fine. That's as we've worked out, but then lose to Gentlemates and Secret in round 5 to not even make the top 8. So they go from top 2 in Birmingham to a 9th place finish. What do you reckon?
Crazy. I mean, the secret one's a crazy one. Like the other ones are forgivable because it's.
I think
Falcons
even
and Gentlemates.
Gentlemates, you expect them to win that though.
They're the favorites in that, but it's forgivable though. It's like okay, that happens. That one's like okay, that can happen. But yeah, the secret one is crazy, and I'm sure that they underestimated Secret like all of us did. And after day 1. How could they not? I mean, they just beat KC, and we didn't know at that point that KC were maybe slumping a little bit for that weekend and not having the best event. Like at that moment, we just thought, wow, Ultimates beat KC. They're the favorites. They're making finals. They're the number 1 team after day 1, and then they probably thought that as well because they beat KC. And underestimated Secret. I'm sure got the pressure.
Yeah, they were excited going into that round. They're like, oh, we dodged KC Furia and Twisted Minds. Let's go. And then it's just
yeah.
But that round 4, game 3 versus Mates, they're up 2-0 with 9 seconds on the clock.
Insane.
And they lose that in regulation. Like that
crazy kickoff goal by Gentlemates in
insane.
that game. Unbelievable to get that goal.
It's the first time a 2-0 team has ever got reverse swept out of Swiss on LAN. So that's never happened before. But it is tough, right? Because you lose 2 in a row on one day and nothing's going right. They do get the good matchup, but it just didn't matter.
It's just a lesson in not like taking anything for granted in Rocket League, but I mean in just competition in general, because I'm sure Ultimates after beating KC thought, oh, we're insane. Like looking who they're up against. Oh, it's Falcons. We mopped those guys in Birmingham. Oh, we're up against Gentlemates. Yeah, they're whatever, EU4. Oh, we're up against Secret. Easy. Like it's a lesson in respecting the opponents to some degree, because even if they did respect them a little, they could probably have imagined like, okay, nameplates off. These are just Rocket League opponents. Let's go. There's no way that they can convince me that they went into that with solid mental and performed.
That's
like
the
they
mental.
did.
They sped run the mental of winning a LAN. That's
Yeah,
exactly what
with
I
the
think it
KC
is.
thing.
Is like the first day they were like, it's almost like they won a LAN and then they started maybe they disrespected people too much. And that's why I say winning back to back is so hard. I think like it's so hard to reset completely. But yeah, they definitely were like, let's go. We just dodged Vatira, Yan, and Nwpo in round 5, and we're playing Secret, who are like playing way above what they should be, and then it's just like it snowballs really quick after one loss. And I will say the things they were pulling off though, I was like, this is just like a recipe for disaster. Like the things they were doing, everything was perfect. Like they were just connecting so well.
Oh,
And
secret?
then, yeah, and then even it did remind me of when Ultimates lost to OCE last year. They would look so jumpy, like everything looked so panicky. There was no
When it goes
I don't
wrong,
know.
it goes wrong for
Yeah.
Ultimates.
Because I forget that's 2/3 of the same team.
Yeah,
It
the
is, yeah.
Gen G
Gen G
lineup.
without Jack. So
Yeah. They have high expectations. I mean, they're obviously a team who put a lot of pressure on themselves to succeed, but they've probably learned after this event better ways to like make that help them, because it's better to have that motivate you, not to have it, cause you to panic like they did.
Yeah, not the end of the world, not panic stations. It kind of, for pretty much everyone apart from Gentlemates, this major was a bit of a warm-up, bit of a, well, you don't want to say it's a warm and throwaway major. It still obviously is a major. But just touching on OCE as well, third time in a row we've lost to APAC. We're in the bin at the moment. Wildcard 0-3. Honestly, I think the round 5 buff, you mentioned mental. Maybe we just started expecting to get to round 5. Wildcard, they're always
maybe.
Swiss round 5. They're like, oh, we're just going to get there somehow. And now they've gone from a 1-3 result in Birmingham to a 0-3, this time losing to Furious, Secret, and APAC to VP. So we are getting dominated by Sam
Does
as
OCE
well.
respect VP? Do they,
No,
they
I
respect
don't,
APAC?
and I think
No.
we joke about the optimal level of arousal here on Chalkscast Gibbs, which is you want to be and I know you know this, Gibbs. When you're playing an opponent, you need to be somewhat aroused about the matchup. You want to be somewhat excited to play.
Just be confident.
And you want to get let's go, let's play these guys. You don't want to be too excited, like, oh my god, I'm playing GarrettG, which is sometimes maybe I did in a couple of dream hacks, like, oh, the Captain America, and then you go too far and then you get panicky. But you don't want to be like, oh, we're to play these guys, and then you're not excited, you're not up and about. You just want to be in that nice middle ground, and I think we were way too in the playing APAC again. Wow, here we are, and they just didn't come in with the right mental. Whereas VP, Sphinx and the boys, they're let's shit on OCE again, and they did it. They 3-0'd them.
They've got good vibes. Their vibes are top tier as body language and facial expression expert, which I'm sure we all are. Yep. Watching RLCS and the face cams. But yeah, they've got great vibes. So it's hard to.
They're a team you got to worry about. Yeah.
Like at least Blast, did you a solid for Wildcard. Now with their new seeding system, it's more gradual. So Wildcard is in the main event for the World Championship because TSM won. VP, I know they were not happy about that. They'll be playing in that LCQ. So
yeah.
But at the same time, you can be unhappy about it, but you got to be like, well. If we're meant to be in the main event, we got to win this LCQ, right? Or the play-in tournament, I should say.
Yeah, Gen G's in there.
VP's not happy, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah, good luck to them. They're exciting to watch. As I said, I feel like anytime they're in a match, you're not like, oh, they're just going to get absolutely smashed. They're actually can take it up to a lot of teams. Yeah, they look competitive. So there's kind of those couple of regions. We talked about NA. Lastly, finishing off with Europe. Gentlemates obviously didn't get top 2, so they've got to go through the LCQ to make their world spot. We spoke about KC, Dig. What a performance from them. They are so good against everyone except Falcons, who I think Caleb, they went 1-11, was it?
1-11, yeah.
4-0, 4-0, or 4-1, 4-0, 3-0.
At least the final was maybe their best showing, because they had them 1-1 in a close game, 3 overtime, and then Jory's is popping off. So I think the final was a respectable. It's about as good of a 4-1 loss as you're going to see, but it was still a 4-1 loss. So they've got to figure something out about that matchup. They were just getting destroyed.
Yeah, and on top of that, at least Mates now have a few less European teams in the LCQ, so they have that going for them, I guess.
Sure.
Because they decided to go to MENA.
Yeah, so we talk about
let's touch on that.
Last chance squad. So NiP have benched Itachi for Radosin, which is, I think, a pretty crazy move to just whip out. But I mean, maybe they're trying to channel the last split, make a roster move.
But supposedly, Itachi has not been playing at all. Supposedly.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's more relevant that they had to make a move. But
I see. Okay. Okay, so Itachi's just making content. He's not been playing. More hours on Rust than Rocket League. Probably not the only Rocket League pro who could say that. But yeah, that's fair.
So they just and Rezears, Rezears has left OCE. It was a failed invasion. by
It was a
Rezears.
failed invasion.
There's one thing that OC has going for them. We are still the only defended region in the world. So we'll take that. Rezears couldn't get a victory over there, couldn't make LAN. And he's now just decided, you know what, this is fun. You know, let's just keep on. Why go home? You know, let's continue the world tour. Tox, Rezears, and Toxic.
So what's happened with that? So Rezears leaves OCE because OCE don't have last chance calls, so he can't make worlds.
Yep.
And he goes to MENA to team with his mate
on his
Tox
way
and
out
Toxic.
though, on his way out, he does win like the one's cash cup for OC, so he just gets a little bit, more kitty on the way out. just sucks a little bit more money out of the region. Just takes away the little cash cups. The off-season opens, and then he had to wait a little bit, delay the flight home. But I don't know, is he flying to MENA, or are they playing from Europe?
I think they must. I don't know if they can play in MENA anymore because Al Qadsiya is one of the orgs in MENA that Tox and Toxic played for. They were playing with Dr. Known, the young MENA player, and then they decided to bench Dr. Known for Rezears. But then Dr. Known was like, I mean, I've got a new team I want to play with as well, so why should you get the org? And then the org said, fair enough. Let's have a scrim. Let's have a scrim for the contract. And they just said right now, scrim for the contract. They played one series on EU servers, one series on MENA. The Dr. Known Nush and Ops team won both of them. They won pretty handily from the ballchasing.com replays, which are just public, which is hilarious. And I guess they get the contract. And I mean, do Toxic and Rezears invest in flying themselves out as a pickup team to MENA? That's expensive. I don't even know where would they go. Like that's not a region you could just like pull up and be like, okay, great, we've got the best setup ever. You kind of need to know someone there. So they might be just playing from Europe and getting bopped by the same teams that beat them on even ping.
I do love that match idea though. Like I would hate it
pink slip
if an org was like, oh, it's a random other team that we think might be good, but it was actually a player on the squad that got kicked. It's like, no, I think I'm better than the other two. So I think it was fair to just have them brawl and see who gets the org. And they won. Yes. So they lost that. Now they're going to have to compete against them anyway in the MENA LCQ, probably on worse ping because they're not going to be there. So that could be
maybe they are going to be there. I'm assuming that they're not going to be there because that's just such a huge investment. And also, how are they? I don't know how you figure that out, but maybe they're going to be there. We'll see. But there's also the other EU/SAM team. AGG's just doing a world tour. He's competed in SAM. He's competed in NA. He's competed in EU. And now he said, you know what, Tehqoz, my fellow region invading friend, who's just finished up a failed split in APAC on a full EU cringe team, losing to Virtus Pro. It's like, you know what? Let's be a full international team in MENA together. This seems like a great way to farm impressions on the timeline. So AGG, Tehqoz, and Dorito are going to be competing in MENA last chance call as well, instead of EU. And Senzo had a great tweet about this.
Yeah, I'll pull this up. I've got it.
You pull it. Yeah, Senzo's tweet just slaps on the Google Translate. Like, I can't speak Arabic.
Grok is cooked with the translate. He goes, this is what Senzo tweeted, allegedly, in English. We lash out at their region. Let's go again. We lash out at their region because they know that they're not worthy of earning it with the sweat of their brow. I like those who still underestimate the region. By God's will, they'll get crushed by our boys.
Love it.
I'm with Senzo on this one.
Bring it on. You think we're shit?
Can we just all agree that EU has by far the most cringe players when it comes to just trying to invade and take over other region spots? We've got the SSA invasion, Rezears with the actually pretty ethical OCE invasion, I'll give it that. But now like the continued invasion of MENA alongside Tox and Toxic, it's AGG, Tehqoz and Dorito. It's just ridiculous. Also on Tehqoz and Tho and APAC. Like, what is going on? EU, we are cringe. Let's just accept it. We're the most cringe region.
We knew this was coming once the LCQs were like, you could play from any region. And it's like, I wish they would have just been like, wherever you got points this year, that's the only place
stop
that
moving
you can
around.
play the LCQ.
Yeah,
like at the very least. Yeah. But at the same time, like, we're going to hate the players, obviously. But at the same time, like, if I'm that player and it's like, this is my one chance to make the world championship, to make some more money, like in a game I love, because I can't make it in Europe, like, maybe I do the same thing. I don't know.
You are a piece of work.
But yeah, so
Gibbs
I'm
has
like,
no
This
morals.
guy will also
He'll
yell at
beat up
deaf kids.
beat a
So.
deaf kid. Yeah. I say
I'm at the point of hate the game, not the players. I mean, like,
yeah,
we
that's what I'm
talked about
kind
this
of
a little bit.
saying. I'm like, I don't know. It's
I was
hard.
trying to
It's
talk
hard,
to
but-
well, actually, we talked. I talked a lot at the Endpoint View Party, the Sheffield View Party with the boys about this. But yeah, a lot of people are hate the game, not the players, which is fine. I'm hate both.
I get it though.
Because I really don't think that just because something is okay according to the rules that makes it fine. Like if it's legal to lie, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to judge people who lie. Because if somebody just straight up lies in real life, you're probably gonna be like, okay, I don't trust that person. I'm gonna actively judge them for the rest of my life. And it's one of those situations. Okay, it's like it's fine according to the rules. I just think that the morals.
It's like
at stake here make
unsportsmanlike
it like
in a way.
completely unacceptable to
Sure.
me, and I absolutely judge the players for making that decision. In the
I
same way
agree. I
would
think they've
judge
just been
somebody
set
for
up to
lying,
fail
which
at this
is legal.
point. Like it's just been set up like it's not surprising that this is like it's just set up for this to happen, the exact thing to happen. So I'm just not shocked.
Yeah,
at
at
all.
the very least, they should have come out publicly and be like, yes, we know this is a jerk move, but like this
That's
is
the
our
way to go
one
about
shot.
it. Yeah.
We feel like this is our one shot to make it. We're gonna give it our all, like that still wouldn't help because most people would still hate them, but it would help a little bit at the very least.
Didn't talk, somebody's not. I'm just gonna pull something that I saw on socials. I wasn't here for this. So I saw somebody on social saying that Tox was in whose chat was it? And he was saying that they're probably the favorites. They're gonna win the MENA qual and whatever. That was before they lost the org spot to Alcancia. It's like there does seem to be a correlation, mainly looking at Foot and all the other like YMC, the teams who've gone to SSA. There does seem to be a very clear correlation between players who go to other regions to try and steal spots and just the most cringe behavior of all time on the timeline. Like it does seem to be 1-to-1. Noticing a pattern here.
Like it's tough because like you could say the same thing about Twisted Minds, right? You could say the same thing about Rise and Atomic. They go to an easier region on paper.
Yeah, they weren't cringe on the timeline. I think they if
Sure.
you're gonna do it,
There's a way to go about it.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. Like I didn't say anything bad about Tox and Toxic when they played with Dr. Known. Because they're playing with one of the locals, trying to level up one of the youngsters in MENA with their
That's the
experience.
VP angle. You keep one.
Yeah.
It's a little more
Keep
respectable.
one. It's like it's
keep one.
infinitely more than 0. So all you have to do is keep 1, and for now we're happy with you. But the fact is like, okay, we give up. Yeah, we can't win. Time for the full EU route. It just seems to me like losing.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't as mad at this though, is because like some of these MENA guys are good.
Yeah,
like it's
bring
not
it
gonna
on.
be
As
free
Senzo
at
said.
all. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of interested to watch. Like it's not like going to SS.
They are good.
Well, it is similar in terms of the morals, it being morally wrong. But in terms of the skill level, like I still expect a MENA team to make it. Honestly, like
I do as well.
They're so good. But yeah, that's why I guess I didn't react as hard, is because
it's not as bad as going to APAC or SSA.
Yeah. But it is still.
I'm excited to
I-
watch
it
this
is
one because I want to see.
Yeah, I
MENA
feel
win.
like more people should be mad at apparently Jack for going to a minor region and taking away spots last
Exactly.
year. So I
Taking
do
away
feel like
spots from
apparently
guys
Jack gets
like
all
this.
the love. But come
Yeah,
on,
we were
Jack.
mad. We were mad. We were 6th seed each time. We were like 6th seed for 3 splits in a row.
Sam come over, EU come over,
and also GarrettG, world champion, brought in an import. Like, come on. Like,
actually, you
let's-
started
Listen, we don't
this.
talk. We skip
started
over
this.
that. We skip.
You
we
scum.
skip over that fact. We skip over that.
Brought in a
my
world
days.
champ from Europe.
What did I do? What did I do?
Yeah, you started,
started
this whole.
this,
Yeah,
yeah.
Epic thought. Hang on a minute. There's
damn.
something in this. We need more turbos around the world. But it's speaking of North America. This is kind of the one, I guess, the most publicized team that's been formed for the NA LCQ. Comm is back. Took a split off.
He is back. That's cool.
Couldn't find a team that he wanted, I'd say, and wanted to take a little mental break. And now has gone with 5UP, Talk, and Lola as well as the coach for the LCQ. So adding a little bit of spice. I guess Shopify was the most talked about move with Wahvey coming in for Paarth. And obviously Complexity. And now we've got this team.
Yeah, the Wahvey
Gibbs.
move is exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very
Very excited.
It's like this team, I would say probably like maybe 4th best, probably, maybe-ish. But I just love the tweet where it's like, hey, org, come represent us in this one tournament
Yeah, for a
that we
while.
play in. And if we don't win, we don't make worlds. Like, I think orgs are gonna represent you after you win the tournament. I think that's probably how this is gonna work.
Prove
I
yourself.
like how Lawler is trying for it. Like I love me some Lawler, but like very unlikely the Norg's like, you know what? Let's book him now.
Yeah, you're not
before
signing a
Again,
12-month
maybe orgs are
contract.
thinking we sign them now for a bargain because these
An
boys
investment.
will sign any
Make a
piece
bet
of
on
paper.
them.
Like, yeah, with Comm on board, I hope they don't do that though, because he's obviously got a lot of experience. I don't think they're just gonna sign anything.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they go.
On Twitter. A lot of beef on Twitter with that.
Oh
I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, really?
Oh, really? What's the beef?
Rapid. There was a
Rapid
bit of
and
beef.
Comm. Oh, yeah.
It's just
Like, why?
I don't know.
Why,
It's
what's the beef? What's Rapid beef? Like Rapid,
He's
every
saying-
time he beefs somebody, they do really well. So this is probably good for Comm.
That's true.
He's saying it's ridiculous that Comm took a split off just to play the LCQ. Like he's saying that makes no sense.
Point of the
and it's-
LCQ?
What's ridiculous about that? I don't understand why
I don't
that's
know.
ridiculous.
I'm not sure.
I think he's mostly saying they're a bad team. I think that's what he's mostly saying. That they have no shot because he took a split off.
Did he elaborate
But,
on why that's
Oh,
ridiculous?
there's so much elaboration that it's too much to read, but it doesn't
Okay,
really
okay.
like make any sense. I think.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but
that's
it's
the
just a fun
beauty of an
read.
LCQ, right? It's like anyone can try, and it is open to literally everyone. So if you are in NA and you're grand champ, just go for it. Just have some fun and
Rapid
Yeah.
call. He said Vatira was never going to have the same success again when he left Moist to join Carmine Corp. He who else did he beef with? There
Noli.
was some other.
He doubted
Oh
Noli.
yeah, he said Noli's going to just be permanently like.
And then he won the major.
Maybe ninth. Yeah, permanently ninth when they went to NA. They won the next major. So yeah, the two people that he trash talked the most
Yeah.
famously won the next two majors consecutively. This is probably really good news for Comm. The Rapid.
yeah, maybe it's a
is
business
tweeted-
move
tweeted
by
out.
Rapid where he's going to
reverse
start
buff.
paying for
Yeah.
hate. You know, like he'll be like, I'll hate you if you pay me, and then
Yeah, if these guys win the LCQ, then there's something in that. I mean, this would be
Yeah.
that'd be wild. But it's particularly Gibbs because they have to go up against Shopify Rebellion with the pickup of Wahvey. I mean, talk me through this lineup. You're talking 2-piece Reddles, Wahvey for the LCQ. I mean, how confident are you in the boys?
I mean, with you streaming it, probably not too confident, but no, I think they're in the running for sure. Like Complexity is probably still favorites, but who knows? Because it's been so long since any of these teams.
There's
have
gonna be a lot of
played as
pressure
well,
though,
right?
Yeah, everybody's gonna be
It's
nervous.
what, like 3 months off before you play again, so it's like it could be anyone's game, right? So, and again, you could just get a benefit of a bracket and be in that upper bracket, get a good run. Then it's like, all right, you just have to make it through grand finals. Like we saw K Corp, obviously they went out 8th at the World Championship. That could happen to a Complexity in like an NA tournament, right? Where they just go on a bad run. So
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
you just
the
need a little bracket luck too. So see what happens.
Hopefully they can.
Everybody
get the
better be
job done.
streaming that though. Like that is the best content of all time. Any like
it's gonna be
pros who
fun,
just
yeah.
want to start making a bit more of a name for themselves
Yep.
in the content side of things. Last Chance Qual is going to be some of the most nail biting, exciting content. They should all just be live or have somebody streaming on their channel for them, like just a friend or a mod or just anyone. Just
Garrett, are you playing in it?
get them in there.
Yep. Me and Squid.
Yeah.
We almost lost AJ. We almost lost him.
Whoa!
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Drama?
But he's playing with us. He is
Hey,
playing
I'm
with
just
us.
saying, if you do lose AJ, there's. A
I
free
know who
agent
to hit up.
available.
Listen,
I'm
I know
just
who to
saying.
hit up. I won't doubt him again. And yeah, we'll call. I'm hitting your line.
Yeah, stop
Gibbs.
looking
But
at
yeah,
his
we will be
rolling
playing it.
tracker. All right, get off his back.
It'll be fun.
Just put me a sub, just in case. Just in case. Power outages, I'm here.
He's
Gotcha.
he's
Yeah,
the rock.
definitely sign you up.
He's
No, it'll
the-
be fun. It'll be good content. I'm excited to watch. Like when we get eliminated or whatever, I'm excited to watch CJ's POV. To be honest, because CJ has
Do people hate
like-
watch Shopify Rebellion or?
Yeah, well, no, it's not hate watch.
not a
It's
hate
just
watch.
like,
You
it's
just make it
find
so
out
good.
watch.
Win or
It's
loss,
just like
it's so fun to watch.
Let's see how they beat it this time. Watch. Like I don't know if there's a more
Or-
articulate word for
But
that.
like, or if they win, it'll still be entertaining because you've just been through so much pain.
Yeah,
like it'll be
I will
great.
cry if we somehow pull this off. Just it would be the most would it be the most Shopify thing because we haven't really done anything. But I was gonna say like if we don't make a major and then just luck a tournament, win an LCQ and make worlds.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but it would be the most Shopify thing to just make the run
Grand
before
final and
qualifying and
lose.
lose in overtime game 7 or something.
I
That's
have
a bit
doubted.
harsh.
I've doubted Reddle's teams too many times. I've doubted him too many times. He always makes it happen, like at the very end. So
He does. Yeah.
if I'm betting on someone, it honestly is Shopify right now, for me.
Yeah. I'm excited for
Not
that.
the glaze.
That'll kick
The
off
storyline bet. Yeah.
in 3. I think it's a 2-week thing. The LCQ, but it'll be a 3.
Well, there's 4 different regions, 4 different weeks, which is really cool. We've got
Does it
like
start this
loads of
weekend
Flash Dance Goal content. I think it
must have.
Well, it might
no,
be the
no, the one
first
after. I think the one after
round.
Nick. One
Or
after
maybe
this
it's-
Yeah,
weekend.
because like they're
Yeah.
2-week-long tournaments. Though,
MENA
again,
calls
like
this
normal,
weekend.
So,
Maybe it's
yeah.
MENA the first one.
Okay, I have to take a break. 1 second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MENA, week 1 is this weekend. But then
Yeah,
the
before
big
top
the big
16.
week will, because like, this week will just be like getting all the other teams out of the way. But next weekend
Main
is the
event
big
next
one for
week.
MENA.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be good to watch it. The only thing we haven't really touched on so far from a huge week of rock was the 1v1. Obviously, Nwpo taking on Diaz. It was a similar situation to the Birmingham to Moxie and Yan, where we had one player who was in the event, one player who was obviously had the threes sorry, have we locked this in? Nwpo?
Yeah, I was about to say CJ.
He
Settle.
needs to
It's
put a vowel on his
Nwpo.
name, bro. He
It's
needs to put a vowel
Nwpo
on his name.
or
Nwpo.
Yeah, I would
But
say
it's-
Nwpo is probably.
Well,
what it
did
is,
you
but-
hear Leaf's interview about
Yeah,
that?
I know, he
where
messed it
asked
up,
he
and we
asked,
messed it
him
up,
how
so.
do you say it,
And he
and
said
then
it wrong immediately
I think
backwards.
he said
yeah.
no.
He said no,
Nobu.
no, and he was like
Like, it's more
no,
Nobo.
He
Like,
said
closer to
Nobo.
Bo than anything.
Yeah, he said Nobu, and then Leaf's like Nobu.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so then we
impossible.
started saying Nobu on desk,
He
and
needs
then
to put a
the
vowel in
next
his name,
day
bro.
we were like, all right,
He needs-
Nobo, we'll go with that. But
I was telling Rise swung by the watch party. I was like, Rise, just get him to chuck a vowel in there. A, E, I, O, U, doesn't matter. Just any vowel will do.
Help us out,
between
eh?
the N and the W, and we'll be like, great, we can all read that. That's a word. But the fact that it's not like a word and in English, and P isn't a sound in Arabic, just makes this impossible because the
Yeah.
Arabic casters say Nobo. And it's like you're so confusing for the viewers. So I reckon a rebrand would be a great move
Yeah.
for him. Just add a vowel, and then maybe you win Worlds. You could keep the vowel, just run with it.
Yeah.
keep it
I
going.
just
I
don't know
reckon-
how
I
an
reckon
O
that'll-
can be a U. That I can't see it. How is it Nobu?
The
That
P
just
is a
makes
B,
no
the
sense.
O
There's
is a
no O
U.
at the start, and we're saying an O, and then at the end there's an O, and it's a U. So anyway, we'll try and I feel like there's still we are no closer, even when we ask him.
No, we're further away now. I've heard even more
it's
like
more-
versions
there's
this
more
time around.
variants
I'm
now.
like, bro, like we need just a vowel in there, bro.
Yeah.
Like we need please just one vowel. That's all we ask.
But the 1v1
or two. Maybe chuck a couple in. Why not?
Yeah, we need something.
Mm,
We need
ooh,
an English
okay.
translation
couple
on
in
his
there.
naming game. But look, I'm still going to go with Nwpo until I can get confirmation because I'll try every different variant. The 1v1, obviously Diaz was there all week just to grind for once. He didn't quarrel with complexity. And he just, well, I'm not saying he got smacked, but this other guy's pretty
He
good.
gets smacked pretty bad.
Yeah, this other guy's pretty
Yeah,
good.
his early forfeit in game 2, I'm gonna say, did not age very well because he just like came out in game 3 and they picked
Yeah,
up where they left off.
instantly.
They're just like, okay, great. So instantly down 4-0 again. Like that was probably the biggest mistake he made, is he just made it too easy to get a win. Like we've seen winners take so many timeouts in ones. I think even if you know you're likely to lose, sticking in it and just relaxing while you do it, like taking a mental timeout and hoping that the other guy's stressing out is probably a valid play to make, and not just forfeiting with like 2.5 minutes left, taking all of that pressure off your opponent. He's like, oh, cool, one game that easily, nice, straight back into game 3, does the same thing again.
Now we get
But
Yeah.
the real winners was the Hydro homies out there because Nobo was
my
just
gosh.
chugging.
he was
He was
drinking.
just going.
Oh yeah,
After
he
every
was.
goal, I think he had 2 different water bottles up there at one point. I don't know. He was just
I wonder if that's like an,
'Cause he's,
an-
and that's
like-
why you don't forfeit, because then it would make him have to go to the bathroom, and then you get an extra timeout, and
Was it he's type 2 diabetic or
Read.
something, so he has to hydrate a lot more? Is that I'm not a
he
doctor
drank 3
or
water
smart,
bottles.
so
Damn.
I'm just gonna try and keep tabs on this. But yeah, he drank a lot of water, that's for sure.
Yeah.
he did.
Don't need to be a doctor to know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Diaz.
type 1 diabetic, sorry.
Diaz showed a little bit of what he's got, but as people said, he's kind of more of a slower, pick people apart.
He should have bumped more.
Yeah, he
He
couldn't
was
get
too
it going.
clean. He was trying to outplay him all the time, and I'm like, oh my days, like just go for one bump, earn the respect that
Mm,
you might bump in the future, because he's just like full shadowing against you, and he's
Mm.
not gonna commit ever. He's just gonna wait for you to commit because you're not bumping him. But Diaz has always been a bit like that. He tries to outplay his opponents, tries to play really clean, maybe chucks a bump in there occasionally, but I think at this level versus the top guys from MENA and EU, like Moxie showed us in Birmingham, you should be bumping a lot. The fear of the bump should be there on every play that you're attacking. The opponent should be scared of the bump, or otherwise you're just not playing aggressively enough, I think.
Who's your early pick then for Worlds, taking on Moxie?
Every day I change my mind, I swear. Every day I change my mind. Because it really didn't look like having to play the 3v3 negatively affected Nwpo at all. He was just totally fine. So I'm guessing it won't affect him in Lyon either. But then the crowd is so Moxie favored. Is that going to be too much for Moxie? I'm going to like lean a little bit more on Garrett for this one. Like as someone who's been a heavy crowd favorite many times. Can that backfire to Moxie?
I think it can, and this is. I almost feel like my experience doesn't matter with the answer because this is going to be like a next level of crowd favorite. Like it's, I don't know. Moxie seems so comfortable without any experience that, and I do think his playstyle is so good. I think I would just slightly lean Moxie because he does bump. He does.
I think the one downside of Moxie was when he lost 3 games in a row to Yan, he looked incredibly nervous.
Yeah,
he was playing incredibly nervous. Like even in the game he won, he just got some lucky goals where he didn't have to do much. It felt like the last 4 games he just didn't do anything because he was so nervous, and I worry that will happen again. Like obviously, like after you do it once, you get over it a bit, but because it's in France, he's probably gonna like cry walking up because of the crowd. Would be my guess, and like I think there's gonna be too much.
Yeah, it will be a lot of pressure.
I hope he does.
He does get the experience of playing Ascension Protocol though, so there's that. That obviously will help Moxie a lot. Getting a big 1v1 LAN in the books next weekend. Thank
what
you
a
for reminding us,
bookend transition that was. Yes, Moxie has qualified through EU. Johnny streamed the EU quals this weekend. We have Moxie and Stizzy as our 2 EU representatives. Joining Maxu we did the APAC quals with the 1 NE. Shout out to Gex and the boys. And Banana Man. He's trying to improve his stocks since they had a disappointing Raleigh Major with wildcard. He's coming over for the 1v1 to represent OCE. So that'll be next weekend. So we can all look forward to that. It'll be huge. And while we're there, we can also watch, I guess, the MENA main event LCQ. We can watch Tox and the boys.
That'll be done. Yeah, that'll be early in the day. So we'll probably like be watching that and then going live with Ascension Protocol. Should be a good time. Yeah, if you want to support the event, you still can with at jamesbot.net/shop. We got posters. We got Ascension Protocol merch with a little Chalkcast logo on the sleeve. We've got what else? We got signed posters. And we've also got your name in the credits. You can get your name in the credits for the event. If you want. And these things, if it does say limited, if it says a certain amount of something's available, that is the only amount that will ever be available. We're not going to like increase those numbers when they sell out. Like limited means limited. We're not going to try and FOMO that and then up the numbers.
So don't miss out. 2 sponsorships. Let's go. Yeah, the community sponsorships you can see on that site at jamesbot.net/shop. They're the big ones. If we can sell those out, get your name in the credits, drop a little message as well. We'll read out that it will go directly towards funding the event. So really appreciate
this and
the
even
support.
Potentially next one because we've had a lot of support. Thank you to all of you who have supported the event so far. We're on a good trajectory, so we're hoping we can save up some money in the Ascension Protocol bank account and start planning another event immediately. Like as soon as this one's done, just get the plan started for the next one. Yeah.
Should be a good time. So we'll run another Chalk Live before we head off as well. I think we'll get James on and by then we should have our 8 players and we can do a little preview.
Yeah, we got six so far. The NA's had 2 players confirmed, Wahvey's and Paarth, but the other 2 will be confirmed, I believe, on Sunday this weekend. So we'll have all of the players confirmed by the
could be Diaz. We could get a what could have been for the World Championships. Diaz Moxie 1v1. Which should be insane. Someone say check the Patreon question, so I better have a quick look. I'm sure someone's got something for this man here.
People just asking Gibbs, how did he score the redirect? I bet they're all just going to be.
How do we angle it like that? When is Gibbs chalk shirt becoming merch? Let me access my sources on that. If you guys want to pick this up, maybe we'll release it at the LAN next week. Yes, Raleigh merch. Everyone just wants merch. We've got some other questions here, but I think we'll save them for next week. From what I'm looking at over here, look, we've run overtime. Gibbs, look, as James said when he got demoed, he has a family, so we can't keep him all night.
It's true.
This man needs to go, but it gives. Go. What was that?
I'm not gonna lie. Last night we thought about doing the show, and then it didn't happen. Luckily, because I fell asleep at like 8 p.m. Eastern, and it was glorious. Slept
8
for
p.m.
11 hours.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That's so sick.
Tonight it's already 9:18. I'm way past my bedtime. So yeah, I gotta get there. But I do appreciate the invite to the show match. Obviously, you could have chose anyone, and you chose me, and it was really cool to play with Garrett. Obviously, kind of cool to play with CJ, kind of. But but it was a good time. The first touch is terrible. We already know this, so that doesn't matter too much. And Johnny will fill my shoes perfully fine.
I'll try.
The
There will
next
be no
time, but
no
I do
redirects though.
appreciate the invite.
I don't promise
No,
any redirects. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
happening.
no
That was
redirects.
insane.
Don't even
Not
try
happening.
that. Just
No danger.
yeah.
Not even gonna
But-
try.
Gibbs,
just make sure on kickoffs you go back to net and not forward.
I'm never going
Okay.
for the ball.
Never
Just
go
He
not.
doesn't go for the
I'm going-
ball. Me and CJ, yeah, we've
Yeah,
talked
not
about
going
it.
for the ball.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine,
we're
though.
gonna have some problems. We need to talk about that before the next show match because we got some problems. Garrett does not like Johnny's kickoff, and it's
Did not like the
it's
kickoff.
honestly-
you know,
it's
you
because
better
I
get
forget-
used to it.
I forget every time, and then it's a jump scare. I'm like, oh,
I
like,
can never
every
say we
single
don't
time.
talk about it. We're just talking about nonsense. And
Yeah.
then he's just like, "Oh my days."
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on the streams. But Gibbs, don't thank us. We can only thank you. Not only did you step
Yes.
up to the plate, provide some absolute content, completely take over
Above and
with your
beyond.
aura, you also carried us to victory against First Touch. So I mean, we can only
awesome.
thank you. It was unreal.
It was
And I got to
perfect
take my
scenario.
clothes off again. It's great.
He
love it.
always manages to. He's like, "Can I rip my shirt
He
off
always
here?" I was
finds
like,
a way.
"Yeah."
All right.
Yeah, it's
You don't have to,
classic.
pull my arm. I'll just do it. It's fine. But, yeah.
Always ripping his shirt off. But guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. Once again, !LAN in chat if you guys want to support us with our Ascension Protocol 1v1 at jamespot.net/shop. Thank you so much to Gibbs for coming on. That was Chalkcast 116. We'll be live next week, but Gibbs, we'd love to have you back for another one. I think you're one
Of
of our
course.
one of our mainstays
Anytime.
now. So appreciate you. All right, guys, we'll see you all later.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.